There exists a luminous frequency so powerful that it instantly dissolves layers of suffering accumulated through entire existences, a chromatic vibration so pure that it burns karmic records like sacred flame, consuming ancient manuscripts written with ink of pain and regret. But what few understand is that this color does not operate through external magic nor supernatural intervention, but through awakening of consciousness to direct recognition of its own luminous nature, that always existed beyond all shadows projected by limiting thoughts and unpurified emotions. This is not esoteric fantasy nor colored superstition, but precise spiritual science that reveals how conscious visualization of certain vibrational frequencies can literally reprogram soul's energetic field, dissolving dense patterns that kept consciousness imprisoned in repetitive cycles of limitation, guilt, and suffering that seemed eternal, but revealed themselves temporary when exposed to correct light, applied with genuine faith and adequate understanding. The key to this instantaneous transmutation resides in understanding that karma is not solid weight carried by soul like material burden, but specific vibrational pattern that can be transformed through conscious elevation of mental frequency to dimensions where guilt, fear, and limitation simply cannot exist. Just as dense fog dissolves automatically when rising sun elevates atmospheric temperature, heavy karmic records evaporate naturally when consciousness rises to superior frequencies, represented by certain colors that function as master keys, capable of opening dimensional doors that lead directly to spiritual freedom. This transformation does not require years of arduous practice nor extreme ascetic disciplines, but only 60 seconds of conscious visualization, applied with total intensity and complete surrender to alchemical process that Paramahansa Yogananda described as burning seeds of past actions in flame of present wisdom. But what if I revealed that exactly that color you least imagine? A specific fusion between transmuting violet and elevating gold carries power to dissolve not only individual karma accumulated in this life, but subtle impressions of multiple existences that remain engraved in causal body as unconscious programs dictating patterns of behavior, relationships, and circumstances that seemed destined but revealed themselves modifiable through correct application of this spiritual chromatic science. Today you will discover not only what this revolutionary color is, but how to apply it with surgical precision to experience instantaneous liberation that will transform your perception about consciousness's power to create and recreate reality through focus directed at specific frequencies that resonate with aspects of your divine nature. The violet golden flame represents alchemical fusion between two complementary frequencies that operate in synergy to produce complete transmutation of dense energy into pure light. Violet carries dissolving power that burns psychic impurities like sacred fire-consuming offerings at altar of consciousness, while gold elevates resulting vibration to celestial frequencies where only love, wisdom, and divine power can exist as natural reality. This combination is not accidental nor arbitrary, but result of millennial wisdom that recognizes violet as color of supreme spiritual transformation, associated with seventh chakra, portal between human and cosmic consciousness, and gold as frequency of divine realization, vibration of Christic wisdom that permeates all creation with intelligent light that organizes chaos into cosmos through applied love. Like cosmic alchemist who knows exactly which elements to mix to produce spiritual gold from base metals of common human experience, Universe offers this chromatic formula as free gift to any consciousness willing to experiment with instantaneous liberation from patterns that seemed permanent but revealed themselves temporary when exposed to correct frequency applied with adequate intent. Just as laser beam can cut through hardest materials when concentrated in precise focus, conscious visualization of violet gold can traverse densest layers of karmic conditioning when sustained with total concentration and unshakable faith in light's capacity to dissolve all shadow, regardless of how ancient or entrenched it may seem. Ancient Tibetan tradition preserves story of monk who carried devastating guilt for having caused accidental death of child during previous life as negligent soldier. For decades, he meditated intensively seeking purification, practiced extreme austerities, dedicated entire existence to compassionate service. But weight remained like rock in heart, preventing complete spiritual realization. Only when illuminated master taught him specific technique of visualizing violet golden flame completely consuming karmic record while repeating liberation mantra with absolute faith, did instantaneous transformation occur. Within minutes, decades of suffering dissolved like ice melting under tropical sun, leaving only deep peace and spontaneous gratitude for opportunity to serve other beings with completely purified heart. Practice right now basic application of this chromatic science. Close eyes gently and breathe 3 times deeply to quiet mental turbulence. Then visualize luminous sphere of violet golden flame descending slowly from infinite above your head until it completely envelops your entire physical, emotional, and mental being. Allow this light to penetrate each cell, each memory, each thought pattern, instantly burning any record of limitation, guilt, fear, or separation, while simultaneously elevating your vibration to frequencies where only truth, love, and freedom can exist as natural realities. Sustained visualization for complete 60 seconds while repeating internally, I am violet golden light consuming all karma. I am pure freedom manifested now. I am divine consciousness beyond temporal limitation. What we call heavy karma is not real substance carried by soul like material baggage, but specific vibrational pattern created by persistent identification with past actions, limiting thoughts and dense emotions that were sustained with sufficient intensity to engrave lasting impressions in consciousness's energetic field. These impressions function as unconscious programs that continue executing automatically until consciously reprogrammed through vibrational elevation that dissolves old frequencies and installs new frequencies aligned with superior spiritual truth. Karma is not divine sentence nor cosmic punishment, but simply natural result of energetic laws that operate with mathematical precision. Energy invested in limiting patterns returns as limited experiences. Energy directed towards spiritual elevation manifests as growing freedom and expanded realization of inherent divine nature. Like composer who can rewrite discordant symphony, transforming it into celestial music through conscious alteration of notes, rhythms, and harmonies, awakened consciousness possesses power to recompose existential melody by altering vibrational frequency through which it interprets and responds to life circumstances. When it elevates vibration to frequencies represented by violet gold, perspective transforms, automatically revealing that what seemed insurmountable problem was only disguised opportunity for development of specific virtues. That apparent punishment was compassionate invitation for accelerated growth. The temporary suffering always pointed toward permanent joy, that is, natural inheritance of all consciousnesses, fundamental unity, divine source. Zen master used to teach through surprising demonstration. He asked students to imagine carrying heavy stone during long and exhausting walk, then requested they visualize same stone as light sponge soaked only with air. Immediately, sensation of weight disappeared, although stone remained identical, revealing that weight was mental creation projected onto neutral object that possessed no intrinsic quality of heaviness nor lightness. Thus is karma, he explained smiling, seems solid and permanent when identification is dense, dissolves like mist when perception rises to frequencies where only light can be recognized as real substance of all conscious experience. Apply practical revelation by recognizing that any emotional weight, persistent guilt, or limiting pattern you carry in this moment is literally creation of your own consciousness. sustained by specific vibrational frequency that can be altered instantaneously through conscious choice to elevate perception to superior dimensions represented by violet golden flame. Identify right now one aspect of your past that still causes emotional discomfort. It can be committed error, lost opportunity, wounded relationship, regretted decision. Then visualize this record being completely consumed by purifying flame that transforms dense energy into pure light, revealing that there never was true error, only experience necessary for development of wisdom and compassion that benefits both your individual evolution and service you can offer to other beings. Colors are not merely visual phenomena perceived by physical eyes, but specific energetic frequencies that resonate directly with subtle centers of consciousness, creating immediate changes in vibrational patterns that determine quality of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions available for conscious experience. When you focus attention on violet gold with laser intensity and sustain visualization with unshakable faith, you are literally tuning consciousness to frequencies where dense karma simply cannot exist. Just as radio station cannot capture program transmitted on different frequency from that to which it is calibrated. This tuning is not gradual process requiring months of patient practice, but instantaneous transformation available at any moment through conscious alignment with superior frequencies that were always accessible but remained unused due to habituation with lesser vibration. Like tuning fork that instantly harmonizes out-of-tune instrument when struck in proximity, violet golden flame automatically elevates any vibrational pattern exposed to its influence, transforming discord into harmony, density into luminosity, limitation into expansion through natural process of resonance that requires no personal effort nor forced mental control, sufficient to relax into correct frequency and allow transformation to occur spontaneously as inevitable result of exposure to purifying vibration. This elevation happens regardless of religious beliefs, cultural background, or level of previous spiritual development, for it operates through universal laws that transcend human limitations and respond only to sincerity of intention and clarity of focus consciously directed toward liberation from patterns that no longer serve evolutionary growth. Sufi tradition preserves account of seeker who for years struggled against destructive addiction that consumed vital energy and prevented significant spiritual progress. He tried multiple conventional approaches, including willpower, rigid discipline, environmental changes, various therapies, but compulsive pattern persisted like invisible demon resisting all efforts at eradication. Only when illuminated Sheikh taught him technique of visualizing violet golden flame burning completely energetic root of addiction, while simultaneously elevating consciousness to frequencies of natural freedom, did miraculous transformation happen instantaneously. Compulsion simply disappeared as if it had never existed, replaced by lasting peace and spontaneous joy that flowed naturally from consciousness liberated from limiting programming. Experiment with transforming power of this frequency by applying specific technique during next 60 seconds. Identify mental or emotional pattern you would like to transform. Can be chronic anxiety, internal criticism, persistent resentment, irrational fear. Then visualize this pattern as dark and dense form being completely enveloped and consumed by violet golden flame that burns until last particle of density while elevating resulting energy to golden frequencies of natural peace, joy, and feel transformation happening in real time while repeating, "This superior frequency is my true nature. I vibrate naturally in freedom and light. Every limiting pattern dissolves now in flame of awakened consciousness." True mastery of this chromatic science does not reside in intellectual understanding of principles involved, but in consistent practical application that integrates violet gold visualization into natural rhythms of daily life, transforming ordinary experience into continuous spiritual practice where each moment offers opportunity to elevate vibration and dissolve limiting patterns through conscious exposure to superior frequencies represented by this transmuting flame upon awakening before even opening physical eyes. Visualize entire being bathed in violet golden light that burns records of disturbing dreams and elevates consciousness to frequencies of gratitude and natural enthusiasm. During meals, imagine food being purified and energized by sacred flame that transforms physical nutrition into spiritual communion. Before important interactions, envelop both yourself and other people involved in violet golden light that dissolves potential for conflict and facilitates harmonious communication based on mutual understanding and genuine goodwill. Like artist who gradually transforms blank canvas into masterpiece through patient application of individual brushstrokes, consciousness devoted to systematic chromatic practice systematically transforms personal energetic field through repeated visualizations that create growing momentum toward permanent liberation from vibrational patterns that no longer serve evolutionary growth. Each application functions as energetic investment that generates compound interest of vibrational elevation. Each visualization session strengthens connection with superior frequencies that gradually become natural state of consciousness instead of temporary experience accessed through special effort. Consistency matters more than duration. 60 seconds daily of creates deeper transformation than long, sporadic sessions performed without regularity nor adequate intensity. 12th century Arab merchant documented in personal diary how accidental discovery of this technique completely transformed trajectory of his existence. During dangerous journey through desert, caravan was attacked by bandits and he lost entire material fortune accumulated through decades of arduous work, plunging into despair that seemed justified by devastating circumstances. However, fortuitous encounter with hermit living in isolated oasis introduced him to practice of visualizing violet golden flame burning attachment to lost while elevating consciousness to spiritual riches that no thief can steal. Within days, apparent devastation transformed into jubilant liberation that allowed discovery of hidden talents and true vocation as healer and spiritual counselor that brought much more satisfaction than material accumulation had ever provided. Institute systematic practice by applying violet golden flame at specific moments of day. Upon feeling first wave of irritation, anger, or frustration, immediately visualize dense emotion being consumed by purifying flame that reveals underlying natural peace. When painful memories emerge spontaneously, envelop recollections in transmuting light that extracts wisdom while dissolving suffering. Before sleeping, energetically burn all stress accumulated during day by visualizing violet golden flame cleaning auric field completely. When facing important decisions, ask for guidance while bathing in golden light that reveals choice aligned with superior purpose. Declare intention. I use this sacred frequency as constant tool of purification and elevation. My entire life becomes offering of light in service of conscious evolution. When you understand completely that violet golden flame is not external visualization nor technique imported from distant traditions, but direct recognition of natural light that always constituted real substance of your consciousness beyond all illusions of limitations, separation, and temporary suffering. Each application of this practice becomes conscious return to true home where dense karma never existed except as shadow projected by identification with temporary aspects of experience that seemed permanent, but reveal themselves transitory when exposed to clarity of illuminated perception. This is not escape from reality nor denial of legitimate responsibilities, but awakening to superior reality, where past actions are understood as necessary steps in evolutionary ladder that conducted consciousness exactly to this moment of recognition and liberation that transforms all previous suffering into fuel for expanded compassion and more effective service to other beings who still struggle with illusions you now transcend through conscious application of spiritual chromatic science. True revolution happens when you perceive that you never needed to carry any weight, that freedom was always your natural nature, that violet golden flame simply removes veils of forgetfulness that obscured recognition of your inherent divinity. Each visualization is remembrance of who you always were, beyond all temporary stories about limitation. Each practical application is celebration of eternal light that dances as individual consciousness, without ever losing connection with infinite ocean of love, wisdom, and power that constitutes source and destiny of all conscious existence. You do not become free through this practice. You recognize freedom you always possessed, but had temporarily forgotten during dream of separation that now awakens naturally in golden dawn of direct understanding. If these revelations about transforming power of violet golden flame resonated in depths of your soul as recognition of truth, long sought but never clearly articulated, become conscious channel through which this spiritual chromatic science can reach other hearts that suffer unnecessarily underweight of karmas they believe permanent but will discover temporary when exposed to correct frequency applied with genuine faith and adequate intensity. Leave your like as offering of gratitude to mystery that allows ancestral wisdom to flow through modern channels. Subscribe to continue receiving transmissions that reveal hidden aspects of your divine potential. Generously share this knowledge with those you recognize as ready for instantaneous liberation that transforms suffering into wisdom, limitation into expansion, karma into dharma consciously chosen in service of collective evolution. Write in comments your direct experience with practical application of this technique for authentic testimonies inspire other seekers and create collective energetic field that amplifies transforming power available to entire community of souls dedicated to mutual awakening through practices that elevate individual and planetary vibration simultaneously. May violet golden flame become constant companion in your journey of self-discovery, instantly burning every veil of limitation that obscures recognition of your essential luminous nature. May each conscious breath elevate your vibration to frequencies where only love, wisdom, and freedom can exist as natural realities. May you become living beacon of this transmuting light, radiating spontaneous liberation to all beings who touch your purified energetic field. May illusion of heavy karma dissolve forever in golden clarity of awakened consciousness that recognizes eternal oneness as divine source of all existence.